We finally made it to the World Series where we will see the Texas Rangers go up against the Arizona Diamondbacks? Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in the World Series for the first time since 2001, and the Texas Rangers will be going for their very first World Series title. Let's compare these two teams and see who I think will win the 2023 World Series. So at the catcher position, we're going to see the Texas Rangers' Jonah Heim and the Arizona Diamondbacks' Gabriel Moreno. This is a very close call right here. I'm taking a look right here. Both of these stats, they're having a pretty even postseason. We know Jonah Heim did have a good regular season start, to whereas Moreno, it kind of flipped around for him. He didn't start off slow. He's a rookie. Came into the postseason looking excellent against the Dodgers and the Phillies. He has looked great. For that reason, the postseason hitting, I'm going to give the edge to Jonah Heim from the Arizona Diamondbacks. At the first base position, we're going to have Nathaniel Lowe against Christian Walker. Both against similar players. They can hit for power. You can also see them get out a lot. They're both going to hit in the middle of the lineup. It's a hard comparison. I think this one right here, Christian Walker's defense is amazing. You definitely don't want to hit it to him every time. Lowe is also a good defender, but you just can't beat Christian Walker's defense and how fast he can turn around that bat and just hit for power. They both haven't had an amazing postseason, but I do think that Christian Walker is going to turn it around, and for that reason, I'm giving him the upper hand. And at second base, we're going to have Marcus Semien against Ketel Marte, and this one's going to be very controversial because Ketel Marte did just win NLCS MVP. Marcus Semien hasn't had a great postseason at all. If the Texas Rangers are going to want to win the World Series, they need Marcus Semien. That's the top of your order right there. Without him, you can't have Seager up there with the chance to bring somebody in. Like, you need Marcus Semien to start heating up right now, because either now or never. Ketel Marte, he's been swinging a hot bat ever since the beginning of the postseason. He's been going absolute bonkers. It does not look like he's going to stop anytime soon. He's just getting hit after clutch hit, another clutch hit, RBI. Does not look like he's going to stop soon. For this series right here, I'm going to give it to Ketel Marte. So that's 3 Diamondbacks right there. Catcher, first, and second base. I'm giving Ketel Marte over Marcus Semien just because of Marcus Semien's struggles in the postseason. It's going to be hard to find it again. For the shortstop position, we have Corey Seager versus Geraldo Perdomo. Quick and obvious answer. Corey Seager, better player all around. Perdomo, young superstar in the making. Corey Seager, we just know what he does in the postseason. We know how good he is, how good he can be. No explanation needed. Corey Seager. There's the first Ranger who has the upper hand. Third base, we're going to have Josh Young with a mixture of Evan Longoria and Emmanuel Rivera. Just because that mixture, I don't like it. They're both going to be hit or miss. I just think Josh Young is the better option here. He's going to be a more consistent option. He has a great glove at third base. He can turn that bat around at any moment. He has the upper hand at third base. Those Arizona third basemen just haven't been cutting it. So for the outfield, I'm going to give 3 spots, no matter the position. I feel like that's more of a fair look. So we're going to go with all the outfielders here. For the first outfield spot, we're going to go with the clear and obvious Adolis Garcia, because he is your ALCS MVP. Although he can strike out a lot, he can give you some really serious power numbers, and he seems to be a very clutch hitter from what we've seen so far. He steps up in the big stage, and that's the guy you want on your team. So he has our first outfield spot. Second outfield spot I'm giving out is going to be to Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll is a very young superstar, our rookie of the year, 100%. He can steal a base whenever you want him to, and he can hit a home run whenever you want him to. It's not normal you see that. It's like you see Acuna doing that, but then Corbin Carroll doing that at a rookie level. It's crazy, man. This guy's going to be a huge superstar. Honestly, he already is. And for our third outfield spot, we're going to give that spot to Evan Carter from the Texas Rangers. The dude's hitting .308 this postseason. He's been productive. There isn't that strong of an outfielder list here. We see Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who's been up and down this postseason. Alek Thomas, he's had a great postseason as well. But Evan Carter just seems like the more reliable option right now heading into the World Series. And for our designated hitter, we're going to have Mitch Garver and the Diamondbacks' Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham's been a weird one this postseason, honestly. I have no idea what he's been on. He's been good, and then he's been bad. It's like, I don't know where he is. Maybe because I'm a Dodger fan. In that first game, he absolutely destroyed us. After that, he definitely hit a cold slump. But Mitch Garver has turned it around this postseason. It's to the point where he's in there every day producing. And I think in that game 7, game 6 or 7, he had a big game and a big reason to why they won that series. So Mitch Garver's going to have the upper hand for the designated hitter spot. Now let's get into the juiciness. Starting pitching. We have a big 3 of Montgomery, Nathan Eovaldi, and Max Scherzer. Going up against the Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, and Fat, however you say his name, the 3-starter who's had a great postseason. Very young stud. This is very close. Max Scherzer, his injury, he's still recovering. He's still coming back. He has been in the league for a while. Age is getting to him. Montgomery's been an absolute dog this postseason. I'm so upset the Dodgers didn't pick him up. Don't even get me started on them. And Nathan Eovaldi, who is a playoff superstar. I mean, this dude has been absolutely amazing for the Rangers this postseason. Those three guys, I think, will do pretty good for the Rangers in the World Series. On the other hand, we have Zach Gallen, who has struggled this postseason pretty bad. He had that one good start against the Dodgers, and then after that, he hasn't been great. He's been okay, but I think he's not the Zach Gallen we saw in the regular season. Merrill Kelly, huge surprise to me. He has been amazing this postseason. I didn't expect that. I expected Gallen to perform better than Merrill Kelly, but right now Merrill Kelly and Brandon Pfaadt, that dude, he showed he can play in front of the big stage. Because in the regular season, his numbers were not good at all. I mean, it says right here he has a 5.72 ERA. And in the postseason, he's only allowed 2 earned runs, which is looks crazy to me. I do think the Rangers rotation does have the upper hand against the Diamondbacks. I think the veteran of Max Scherzer, Nathan Eovaldi, is going to absolutely run down that offense because good pitching will shut down good offense. And that's all I see in the Texas Rangers starting pitching, at least for those two. Montgomery, who has been an absolute dog this postseason. I just can't see a world where the Diamondbacks light up the Rangers starting pitching. Now for the bullpens. Man, we have the Texas Rangers bullpen versus the Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen. Texas Rangers bullpen is shaky. I mean, it seems like every time Aroldis Chapman comes in, it's like he hits 3 batters, walks 4, and strikes out 1 and gives up a 8-run homer. I don't know. It's like he's a scary one. There's also some scary pieces in that bullpen. But they've been able to hold up very well in the postseason. Spores has been absolutely amazing for them this postseason. I've seen nothing but lights out stuff from him. And their closer, not sure how to pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try. Lights out once again. Those two have been a 8-9. Punch him, beat him to the ground, and move on to the next game. On the other hand, the 8-9 punch is going to be Ginkel and Sewald for the Diamondbacks. Those two have also been amazing. Full props to them. It's like the Diamondbacks had a terrible bullpen at the start of the season, and all of a sudden they just clicked. Their whole team, matter of fact, their whole team just clicked right now, and that bullpen is a very big part of it. Main reason, because of those two guys right there, came in and just shut it down the last 2 innings. They gave the other team no chance to come back. And for that reason, I'm giving the Diamondbacks the upper hand on the bullpen. I think if the Rangers get into some trouble early in the game, they're not going to win it because their bullpen. I mean, they don't have as much depth as the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have literally had one of the best bullpens since September. And it's crazy to say, but right now, that bullpen has gotten them to a far place. Based off of all these positions, I'm going to be telling you guys who's going to win the 2023 World Series. In 6 games, I'm giving the 2023 World Series to the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers will be your 2023 World Series champs, which is crazy to say. I do think that they stopped the Diamondbacks' hot run. We've seen the Rangers have been good for most of the year, and then they hit a bad streak at the end of the year, and boom, got hot at the right time again. Diamondbacks, same thing. They were good, slowed down a lot, and then they got hot again, but I just don't think they'd have the same depth as the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers are so deep right now, and they can call on any guy, and they will come through. You can say the same for the Diamondbacks because they have Alek Thomas coming off the bench sometimes, but they're so young. You can't rely on so many young guys to just go out there and exceed on the biggest stage they've ever been on. And I think that's going to play a huge role in this World Series. They've been calm and collected. In other interviews, they look like they're just playing baseball. They sound like they're just playing baseball. But, I mean, you're in the World Series. Like, you're playing against guys who have been there before. Against one of the best managers in baseball, and Bruce Bochy right here. It's not only are you trying to beat the Texas Rangers players, but Torey Lovullo, you are going to have to try to beat Bruce Bochy, which is going to be a tough thing to do. We all know how great he was. With the Giants coming out of retirement, it seems like he didn't forget anything. He picked up right where he left off. I think he will get another World Series ring, and it's just going to be hard to outsmart him. He's been there for too long. He has too much experience for him to not exceed in this role right here. He has to win this World Series. There's no other option for him. For Torey Lovullo's team, it's going to be congratulations. Nobody expected that, man. You had 84 wins, which is crazy. You go in, you sweep the Brewers, you sweep the Dodgers, you beat the blazing hot Phillies in 7, but you just can't come through in the end because it's just going to go to the better team. Right now, the Rangers are the better team. They have the better players. They have the more experience. It only makes sense for the Rangers to win their first championship ever. Congrats to Corbin Carroll, Torey Lovullo. Congrats to all those young guys in there who made it this far. They have a bright future. Will they get past the Dodgers again? Probably not. But we'll see because the Dodgers in the playoffs, I don't even want to talk about it, bro. Now, I'm going to pick my World Series MVP. After 6 games, I'm predicting this player right here to hit 5 home runs and get this World Series MVP. And that player is Corey Seager, baby. And that's only because I've seen it happen before. Look at this dude. It's a little dusty right now, but you're telling me he's not going to go in there and just straight go crazy on the D-backs? Come on. Nah, Corey Seager, he's going to be your World Series MVP, and he's going to reach this for the 2nd time. He did it back with the Dodgers. That's all I'm saying. He's been there before, and his bat's starting to get real hot. We saw that at the end of the ALCS. I can't imagine another player going as crazy as him in the postseason. After this World Series, I'm going to be posting a video about the new playoff format, what I think should happen, because that is a very controversial subject right now. I do have some things to say about it as a Dodger fan. That will be for the future after the World Series, after we see the outcome of who wins the World Series. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and let me know who you think is going to win the World Series.